Hi, this is Lightment and Overin. This will be a video of my top 5 favorite Nintendo 64 games that I do still own. We're going to go and have a little slight story time on some of these, because some of these are pretty memorable, and this kind of takes me back to being, I think I'm like 6, 7, 8 years old. Sometimes I go back and play some of them if they've remastered them. Most of these aren't remastered. Some of them might be ported on the Nintendo 64 that's on the Switch. Okay, number 5. Banjo-Kazooie. This is one of my all-time favorite games. I rented this from Blockbuster many times, as I did the second game, but that was way later. This is the one that really got me into platformer, I guess 3D platformer. I mean, Mario 64 was first, but this was like kind of sort of my game, because this was like a new game. It wasn't Mario, because Mario had already existed on the NES. I'd already played 1, 2, and 3 at that point, or at least played the All-Stars collection on the Super Nintendo, so this was really cool going through Banjo-Kazooie. I love the levels, I love the character designs. It's made by Rareware, so it's the same people that did the Donkey Kong Country series. I just love this. I love the music. I love everything about this game. Yes, I did 100% it. It probably has over 200 hours on one of the saves, but there's definitely a playthrough on all 3 of the saves. So that's number 5. Number 4 is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. I never owned this complete. This is actually my fiance's copy of the game. I owned the cartridge, so we're counting that as I did own it. I mean, my parents bought me this stuff. It's probably like Christmas or birthday. I didn't just get games all the time. I want to say this was a launch title for the 64, and I got this pretty early on. It was pretty cool. I definitely did not like the flying parts of the game, because they were done a lot better in Rogue Squadron. But I like this. I didn't know who the heck Dash Rendar was, but I really like the Boba Fett fight. I really like the swamp creatures that are the trash monsters in this. Those always scared me as a kid. This game, a lot of stuff's not supposed to be scary, but it definitely is scary when you go through there. I used to be stuck on that level for like years. I couldn't get past it. No, I didn't have a strategy guide. No, there's no internet or anything. So I'm definitely stuck on this game just as much as I'm stuck on Banjo-Kazooie. But I was stuck on this for like a long time. And for the fans in the know, I've always pronounced his name as Xizor, Xizor. I didn't know until like years later that it was pronounced Shizor, and I don't like that. I was going for like xylophone. There's not dialogue in this game. It's just text at the bottom of the screen with like moving images. I didn't know till way later there is fully rendered cutscenes like PS1 style. Even though this says only for Nintendo 64, this did actually come out on PC, and the PC is the superior version. I tried to play some of it recently, but I can't map it to the Xbox One controls, which would be the controller to work with it. And I'm not tech savvy on PC Master Race type things, but I did watch got through some of the game, like the first 2 levels, and watched some of the cutscenes. Messed around with the Wampas. Love the Wampas in this. Love the Gal Spaceport. The Sand Wampa is what I called it. The one that's hiding in the cave. Love that one. Love the disruptor gun whenever you get that and you fight that like supercomputer robot boss thing, whatever the heck that is. That's not even like canon to Star Wars. I don't know. Since then I have read the comic books. This is based off of, I don't know what came out first. There's a novel called Shadows of the Empire. There's a junior novelization. There's like 7 comic books, which I own all of, which take you follow Luke in the comics. This you follow Dash Rendar because Han's not in it. Han's in Carbonite. This takes place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Also, I always thought it was one of the things I thought was really stupid about this is Dash Rendar's ship. The Outrider looks exactly like the Falcon. It's one of those Y2 model freighter, I guess, Corellia starships. So if you want to go deep lore on that, that's what it is. Love the swoop bikes in this. Swoop bikes are super cool. Fighting the ATSTs, love that. There's 2 of them in this game. You can run around and try to collect the challenge points and like fly around. You have a jetpack. It's kind of a dumb looking jetpack. It doesn't look as cool as Boba Fett's, but you have to use that to fly around to fight Boba Fett's on foot, the guy, and then you fight the Slave One, and that was like the hardest fight ever. I was stuck on that forever. My mom played it, my dad played it, we all played this game, and between the three of us, we did end up finishing it. It's extremely hard. I do recommend this one to people now. If you can get past the controls, because going back to it, it's pretty clunky, then it is a really good game. Number 3. Donkey Kong 64. Okay, this game, plus it has the expansion pack. That's how I got my expansion pack. I definitely rented this one a few times, also from Blockbuster. That's how I kind of got into this kind of stuff, was renting it and then trying it out to see if I actually liked the gameplay, because the gameplay was all over the place. I did not know what I liked. I'm only like 7 or 8 years old. I did already play with my parents, mostly my mom, playing Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. I would say as a kid, the third Donkey Kong Country is probably my favorite. But currently, right now, the second one is my favorite, Diddy's Kong Quest. So this is kind of like the sequel, spiritual predecessor. It's still made by Rareware. A lot of people don't count this as like the canon line of the Kongs. This introduces, you already know who Donkey and Diddy are. This introduces Dixie, Lanky, and Chunky. So you've got 5 Kongs. You've got all of this, which is extreme collectathon. If you do not like collectathon games, I do not recommend to play this one, because this is insane. You're collecting, every Kong has its own banana color. It has its own like banana color, the medals. Cranky's in this. You get to play that jetpack game, his old game from like the Atari days. I don't even know if that's a real like Atari or ColecoVision game. You get to play the original Donkey Kong arcade in this. There's like an arcade machine in it that you can only activate the Switch as Donkey. Everybody has their own switches they can activate that do different things. Lanky can inflate, Tiny becomes tiny, Chunky becomes big, etc. They all have their own musical instruments, which Candy Kong comes back in this from Donkey Kong Country 1. Sexy Kong Girl, gotta have her in there. She's like the Lola Bunny of the Kongs, basically. So, King K. Rool comes back in this as well. Those of you that don't know who K. Rool, the alligator dude, is in the current Smash Bros. For the Switch, this is the game that, I guess, popularized him, even though he's in the Donkey Kong Country Super Nintendo games, which I know those Super Nintendo versions of the games are on the SNES on the Switch. This game is not on the N64 on the Switch so far. The Switch 2 has come out. Maybe they'll release it for that. But this one's really super fun. Would highly recommend this game if you like collectathons, if you liked Conker's Bad Fur Day, if you liked Banjo-Kazooie or Tooie, then I recommend this one. Number 2. Probably everybody's number 2 game or somewhere on their list is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I didn't even play that game until I was like 22, 23 years old on original hardware. So that's not on this list. So get out of here if that's on your list, I guess. It's a really good game. I just don't have like nostalgia, and I didn't play it as a kid. I definitely want to finish it as an adult. So, number 2 is Mario 64. I know. It's super like cliche. This is probably on everybody's list. Everybody loves this game. This is the game that got me into 3D games in general. I did not get into the PS1. My parents got this game. I want to say this game came out in like 96 or 97. So I'm like 6 or 7. One of my earliest memories of this game was watching my parents pass the controller back and forth and playing this in the living room with our like Magnavox 32-inch TV. And they were just blown away by how everything was 3D. You could climb the trees, you could swim, you could drown, you could just run, you could do long jumps, you could just run around in that courtyard, because we had all played Mario 1, 2, and 3, World, and Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island probably being in my top 5 for Super Nintendo. And this game was just so cool, like seeing stuff in 3D back then. That's super early memory. This game, it's on it probably a lot of people's top 5, top 10 lists because it's extremely good. I think it became a bestseller. I think this was a pack-in title. We had the gray N64 with the gray controller. We didn't even know what like joystick was. There's a joystick on the Atari 5200, but that was always like the most crappiest joystick ever. And then my dad played like the ColecoVision that had like a joystick that was really crappy. I've never played an original ColecoVision, so I don't know how bad it was. But he said it was always really bad. So this was where it was at, how you could tiptoe, you could crawl. That was super cool. Some of my favorite stages in this, I mean, Big Boo's Haunt with the scary piano and all that. That stage used to super scare me as a kid, even though it's like super like for babies basically compared to other scary games. But I really loved the eel and Jolly Rogers Bay. The eel's super scary as well. I don't know why I like the scary things. Big Bertha, the fish that eats you, that was always scary. A Tiny Huge Island, that was cool. Wet Dry World, jumping into painting at different heights to make the water go up and down, that was neat. Seeing Bowser for the first time in 3D was cool. Swinging, using the joystick to swing and throw him into the bombs. Always highly recommend this. You can play this multiple ways now in modern day. You don't need to buy it Nintendo 64. You can play this on the Nintendo Switch and then pay for the yearly or monthly membership to get the Nintendo 64, and this is on there. I don't know how good that port is, but you can try that out for yourself, or you could buy that Mario 3D All-Stars that has 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, but I guess it went up to like $80, so I guess don't buy it now. So forget that. They're just like, emulate it or whatever, and don't tell Nintendo. But yeah, this is the best. We're gonna do some runner-ups before I get to number 1. Runner-ups are Pokemon Stadium. Rented this. Never played a Pokemon game before. Loved the show. Collected the cards. Didn't know how to play the card game. So I was really into Pokemon at the time. This is still the Kanto, the first 150. This is super cool seeing them in 3D. You can also see them in Pokemon Snap, which is not on this list. But love Pokemon Stadium. Never played Pokemon Stadium 2, but the first one is really awesome. Love playing as the legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. I love Lapras, Electabuzz. Love some of the cute Pokemon in here. You've got Meowth. You've got Butterfree. I mean, they're all pretty good. I hate Fire Spin. I hate Rap. So whoever characters have that, like Kakuna and Beedrill and Metapod and all them, that's so cheap. We used to annihilate our friends in this, and then when we're done annihilating them, then, because we do 4 players, I did actually have 4 controllers. Usually one of them was third party. But I had, when I lived in an apartment complex, I had this cool, like, see-through green TV, which I'm looking for one of those again. I think those are Zenith. But the TV, it never even had broadcast TV on it because that never worked. So it had a really good crystal picture for games. So I would invite 3 friends over, or more than that. We would trade and play Pokemon Stadium. We'd play 007 GoldenEye, and we'd play like this. The 4-player. There is a 4-player like hunt, shoot them, throw the orange bombs at them. That's really for kids in Donkey Kong 64. But Pokemon Stadium, runner-up. Another runner-up is Smash Bros. Never owned this game. This is actually my fiance's copy, so that's slight cheating. My mom used to work at Taco Mayo, and her friend, her coworker buddy Micah, loaned me what I'm going to say, the other game, the game that's number 1, and this one, Smash Bros. He loaned me this for a long time. I'm like 10 years old, maybe like 5th grade, 4th grade, roughly. Maybe I'm 9 years old. Probably borrowed this for like 6 months to a year, and it was like, I just played this and I knew I was never going to own it, so I just played this game until I hated it. So, and then I would only play it at my friends' houses. My friend Harley, I'd go to her house, and she'd have like a birthday party, and we'd all play this, but we all kind of knew sort of how to play it. We were super amazed that like other characters were in this. You've got Link, you've got Donkey Kong, you've got Yoshi. Some of the stages look like the other games, like Yoshi's Story was one of the stages. Metroid, which I still never played the Metroid that's on this console, but that's one of the stages. The lava that comes up and kills you. Star Fox is one of the stages. things like that. That's really cool. Love this. Love Giant Donkey Kong. Love Metal Mario. Love Smash the Targets. We love that. Last of the runner-up, probably my only sports game that'll be on this list, is 1080 snowboarding, or as I called it as a kid, Snowboard 1080. This game is excellent. Always plays Dion Blaster for the races. Golden Forest, my favorite map. I have the highest score on that. I have the ghost and everything. If I want to do the tricks, trick attack, like the half pipe or the air make, I do it as the Japanese girl Ikari Hayari. She's really good for that, and she has more land ability, kind of, if I can remember right. That's the main two people I play as. My dad also plays as Kensuke Keimachi, and my mom plays as Rob Haywood. So we would all take turns racing on this. It took forever for us to actually do a 1080. Usually you just do 1080 or 180, 360, 540, and then you're trying, you can get a 720 in there. You can practice. Super hard to land that 1080. This game destroyed all of our controllers. All the joysticks are just totally fried. My original gray controller, my solid green controller, and my clear green controller. That's the main three that I had. They were all messed up because of this game. Game Annihilator. Do not play this game on a good controller. Go to Vintage Stock or somewhere and get a third-party controller with a good joystick, but the ones that they look like the traditional controllers, get one of those for this, or just play this on the Switch, because I know it's on the Switch. If you guys know me and know this YouTube channel, it's been going on for like 10, 11, 12 years, you know I don't shut up about this game. You know this game is going to be my number one if you know me, and it is Shadow Man. Now, a lot of people don't know Shadow Man. That's one of the rare, like, rated M games for the Nintendo 64, along with Conker's Bad Fur Day and the other developers that make this, which is Turok and Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, which I've barely played Seeds of Evil, but I do like that game. This is my favorite game of all time. This is not the definitive one to play now. It would be to play the remaster on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and the Switch, or on the PC. But this is the one that got me into it. I love the music. I love the characters, the serial killers that are in this game. I love the asylum. The asylum used to scare the crap out of me as a kid. I'm like 8 years old playing this. My mom had to play like the very, very beginning of this game to even determine if it was like too scary or too gory or too like rated R for me to even play it, which she determined that it was fine. Parasite Eve was not fine for PS1, but this one was. So I still to this day haven't played Parasite Eve. That probably would have traumatized me as a kid. But Shadow Man, favorite game of all time. I do own this on every console that it's on, which is Nintendo 64, PS1, Dreamcast, and PC. Dreamcast is probably the best one for home consoles, not a computer. But this game is super cool, and I really love this. Highly would recommend. This specific version is on the Switch, Nintendo 64 rated mature, which is like another app which has Turok on it, and this. I might have Conkers. I think that's the 3. I can't think of any other. Maybe Perfect Dark. But let me know in the comments, what are your top 5 favorite Nintendo 64 games? I want to hear stories. Where did you get them? Did you rent them from Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, your friend's house? I want to thank my mom's friend from back then. I doubt he's watching this video. His name's Micah. And from Takomayo, because he gave me this copy. This is my copy. The game Loose. And he even hand drew me a map and everything. So let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'll probably do some more top 5s soon.